Hello everyone, and welcome back to Train Sim World 5. Today we are on the Kinzigtalbahn, Frankfurt to follow the route. We are in the intercity Steuerwagen. Steuerwagen means cab car. So this is a part of Train Sim Germany's so-called expert BR101 DLC. All the way over there, there is a BR101. We're at Hanau Hauptbahnhof. There's the S-Bahn Rhein-Main platforms over there. We're heading down to Frankfurt Main Hauptbahnhof. Let's get started. There we go. So, reverser. Right. Unlock the brake key. What's the train length? 229. Right. Let's get the doors open. Wipers on intermittent. Where's the lights on? Headlights to bright. Train lights on. Train lights to timetable. Anything else? I think we need to go to the back. Switch you to headlights. See if it's enabled. Guard bell. Then we need to go to the computer at the back. Joe, the British Ace, the YouTuber, very kindly gave me the numbers that he puts in. So we put this to 9, this to 18, then the train length, which is to 30 meters, and then 20 for maximum land speed, and send that train data. There we go. So now we should have all of that. There we go. So PCB mode is enabled. Do bear in mind, during this trip you will see some stuttering performance. That's not my computer, that is just the route being an absolute behemoth. Especially around Frankfurt. The frames are going to drop very low in Frankfurt. It's a bit of an interesting looking beast, the intercity Steuerwagen. It's also an absolute pain to drive. I'll explain once we get going. So yeah, this is, let's just check. Oh, one thing I do need to check is we need to go into the train, not this cab. The main locomotive, I should say. Make sure this is set to ZWS. Yes, it is. Because that allows us to go in multiple unit mode. So, it's auxiliary, right, okay. Let's shut the doors. One thing I also need to do, go to this screen. Alright. Next up, Frankfurt Main Hauptbahnhof platform 9, but first of all, disable fault simulation, because if we didn't do that, we could have problems. Let's just say that. Alright, here we go. Here we go. 19 kilometers to Frankfurt Main. This is the kid. Yeah. It's a bit complex. This route is a tad complex in how it handles things. Sorry, the DLC, I should say. Nope. Acknowledge that. Oh, dang it, dang it, dang it. We were so overspeeding. One thing I should point out is I just had a complete blank. The BR101 DLC has to have Nachwerke Dresden to Riesa and Bahnstrecke Salzburg to Rosenheim in order to function properly. But the Kinzigtalbahn comes with its own custom timetable for the 101. Which is pretty interesting. Yeah, so basically what we have is a very similar cab setup to the BR111, if you're familiar with that, from, like, say, the Kinzigtalbahn. So you've got a tap changer, and then you can go beyond the tap changer to a normal percentage throttle. Shut it down. Yeah. Also, you'll probably notice the stuttering. That's just an artifact of the route. It's just poorly optimized. Alright. I like this bridge here. It's really cool. Look at this window also. It's sideways. How cool is that? Alright, we could go up to 100 kilometers an hour. Which means I won't have to acknowledge every signal with this P's of B and L's of B. This is also... The Kinzigtalbahn is the core German route for the game. And to say it's poorly optimized, especially around the Frankfurt area, is a massive understatement, which is one reason why I haven't wanted to make content on it. I got it for free. I got it in one of Train Simulator Driver's giveaways. But I haven't really wanted to use the route up until now because the optimization is just so poor. The New York to Trenton, if you remember how bad the timetable update to New York to Trenton was at the start of Train to World 4, that's how bad it is around the Frankfurt area, and it's never gotten fixed for some extremely weird reason. Alright, we are clear up to 130. And then we're clear up to 160. There's the S-Bahn Rhine-Main track off to our right. We are getting a dedicated S-Bahn Frankfurt route at some point, which is coming from Dovetail Games. It's at lines S1, S8, and S9 of the Frankfurt S-Bahn network. Honestly, and then also Trains of Germany is going to be making a BR420 for that, which they've been working on for quite a few years now, which is originally from Munich to Augsburg, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah. Yeah. You will need the Kinzigtalbahn to use the ICE services on the S-Bahn Frankfurt route, which we'll be able to drive ICE services between Wiesbaden, Frankfurt Flughafen, and Frankfurt am Main Hauptbahnhof. So yeah, here's the 101. Intercity cab car is a very odd beast to drive. Okay, not odd. It's recognizable, but it's definitely more interesting than driving the 101. With the 101, you've got normal 0 to 100% throttle, and you've also got an AFB, the cruise control, to help you out. And this is a totally different kettle of fish. The Steuerwagen is a completely different kettle of fish to drive. It is like, it's got no assists, no cruise control, not even a modern throttle. It's very, very interesting. Oh. One thing I should point out is I actually have the ICE 1 enhancement pack off of the Train Sim community website enabled, so yeah, that requires Kassel to Würzburg, and also, yeah, and that enhancement pack, which means you could see some interesting liveries, like that Duplo chocolate livery that Deutsche Bahn put on some of their ICE 1s as part of like an advertising scheme. Who knew? A train operator, and a chocolate company getting together. Who'd have guessed? Right, let's shut you down. Gotta get ready to slow down. Let's start slowing down now. We don't have a time to get to Frankfurt, which is good. So I'm just going to start slowing down now, just so the PZB doesn't bite me in the back, because it has a couple of times. Is that a Vectron? Yes, it is. There's a couple of S-Bahn trains over there. 423s. The BR423 on this route is apparently the wrong it's got the correct livery, but it's got the wrong interior. So, which makes it extremely unrealistic. All right, here we go. 8.7 kilometers to Frankfurt Main. All right, let's slow down a bit more. There we go. Yeah, once you get to know... Whoa! Did you see that light baking issue? It's as if our train went into a... Our train is going into a tunnel. In broad daylight. What the heck? I've only ever seen that issue as a couple of... I've seen that issue on the Kinzigtalbahn. They are going to fix that. And I've also seen that on the long tunnel outside of Marseille on the LGV Mediterranee route. The Marseille to Avignon one, the only French route in the game, and probably widely considered one of the worst routes ever put into the game, if not the. Yeah, once you get about, say, 2 to 3 kilometers outside of Frankfurt Main, the station will render in and the frames will just drop like a stone. Like, and this is not, I'm on PC, not just the people on PC have been having this issue. The console people have been, if anything, having the problem even worse. Iced tea, noise. Also, another problem with this route is the iced tea sounds are mostly recycled from the Ice 3, and those sounds which aren't recycled from the Ice 3 are absolutely terrible. And the horn is especially grating, shall we say. Alright, we're clear up to 150, so I'm going to give it the full benefit of the beans. Yeah. I'm going to only go up to 140. Seafoot. There's Frankfurt Central Frankfurt. There's the skyline in the distance. We're only 5 kilometers out of central Frankfurt, and we're still very much in the countryside. I wouldn't be able to go through this fast through central London, let's just put it that way. This far out from central London, I should say. Right. We have a red signal upcoming. Why? No one on our track. Ah, there is someone on our track. The Fulda to Frankfurt is on our track. Right, I'm slowing down. Nope, signal is clear. Alright, signal is just cleared, so... Let's go full direct brake. Try to slow ourselves down. Yep. Acknowledge. So far, been a routine run. One thing I am worried about, though, is that I have noticed there is a bit of a bug that where sometimes the doors on the train, on the carriages, will close, but then they just won't. The game just won't acknowledge it. I've tried to record a video on Salzburg to Rosenheim a couple of times, and the doors just like won't close at one station. Hopefully I don't encounter the same issue today. Alright. Shut it down. If I do forget, the Pisa B system will kick in automatically and slow the train to a stop before the red signal. Oh, S-Bahn train on the right. Hopefully the S-Bahn trains off of S-Bahn Frankfurt layer onto this route. See what I meant about frame drops? We're now running at 14 frames a second. What the heck? And even people on more powerful machines have been having exactly the same issue. It just loaded in. Uh-oh. Alright, let's... Yep. Dang it. Right. Okay. Pisa B system kicked in. I thought the signal would change. It was a gamble that I failed to recognize. Alright. Alright. Okay, we have a 1000 kilohertz magnet ahead. I'll just apply the direct brake so we don't roll down the hill. I have to wait until that signal changes. Wait for signal to change. Right. Oh yeah, there's someone on our track coming the opposite direction. The Frankfurt to Fulda is coming on our track in the wrong direction. Ugh, that's annoying. Yeah. So look how big Frankfurt am Main Hauptbahnhof is. It's probably one of the biggest stations in the game, period. And I gotta respect the developers for modeling it in its entirety, apart from the underground platforms. The overground stuff's all there. Oh, S-Bahn train heading to Frankfurt. Heading for the underground. No. Not. Alright. We have to wait for this guy to come through. That's annoying. Yeah. An RE50 service. What is that? Thank goodness Pisa B was helping me out there. Whoa! Did you see how slowly that train loaded in? Wasn't it until I was mostly past it that the train actually loaded in? Yeah, this is the guy on our track, alright. I'm still asking the developers to make the Dostos with the... I'm still asking the developers to make those the Dosto coaches with the doors over the bogies. It's been like 8 years. Right, come on, buddy. Let's get moving. We don't have a time to get there, so it doesn't matter if we are a bit slow. And we're off. Going through this station back here, the frames just fell. Frankfurt Süd, the frames just fell through the floor. If we're lucky, we might actually see. Don't think we will. If you're lucky, you actually get to see a. What the heck? Oh, I think I didn't acknowledge the signal. Oh, that's annoying. That's my bad. Sorry. Alright, I know what to do. Gotta wait for the brakes to release, and then I'll use the throttle to start. And then start us moving again. What are you? You're the Frankfurt to Bamberg. The Wachtersbach. Frankfurt to Würzburg. Oh, that's probably a BR642 off of the Maintalbahn. Alright. I'll go beyond tap changer and just give it 100% throttle. What the? My speedometer. What happened? Why is my speedometer not showing anything? That's not good. Why is my speedo just dead? Alright, shut it down. I don't want to overspeed with a broken speedometer. What? Why? What are you? Oh, 114, I think. Acknowledge fault. If I start electric train. There we go. Ha ha ha. There we go. Fixed the issue. Wonder why it deactivated itself. I've turned faults off. Huh. Just acknowledging every signal because we're under 70 kilometers an hour. It makes sense. My frames have just fallen through the... not yet, but once we get into Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof, the area around Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof, we should start having some real frame issues. Slow down a bit. You have to go down to 30 kilometers an hour in the station. There we go. Alright, we're clear through. Make sure. 1000 hertz magnet, that's not good. Alright, we're coming into the main station complex. Look how big this place is. Gotta give, okay, credit where credit is due. Like, holy moly. There's so much stuff here. There's so much. Just make sure that signal is acknowledged. We need to slow down. Okay, frame rate is kicking in. 14 frames a second. Okay, 500 hertz magnet. That means we've got no more signals before our next stop. Oh, hello. Pair of two BR218s. That's probably my favorite, one of my favorite diesel locomotives in the game. Alright. Yeah, see what I meant about the frame rate? This is almost unplayable. I'm not going to say totally unplayable because I'm playing it, but... Right. Speedometer is still working. Fingers crossed it still will. Okay, it's out. Went from 500 hertz to 1000 hertz. Wonder why. Start slowing down. Welcome to Frankfurt am Main Hauptbahnhof. Unfortunately, we haven't got any... Doesn't look like we have any TGVs heading to Paris, but... Yeah. Hey-ho. Shut it off. All right. There's a 642 over there. Unlock doors. Better turn taillights on since we're not going to go forward, are we? Oh, and I should probably shut the wipers off. There we go. Wipers into park. And shut shut the brakes off because we're on a level gradient. Yeah. Let's have a bit of a look around. Look at all this. Ooh, 628 over there. Nice. Look at all these trains. No wonder it's so laggy, but yeah. Oh, there we go. Yes, platinum medal. So 3.4 meters. I'll take it. So yeah, that is the that is the end of today's video, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications if you want to see Dovetail fix this route optimization, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.